Hey everybody, this is the Lee Gersman Show with a guy named Charles Trainer. How are you doing, Charles?
Doing good. The British are coming. The British are coming.
Yeah.
The British are coming. Oh shit! Maybe I gave away a spoiler. Is that what we're doing today, Lee?
Yeah,
the British are coming.
Yeah, we're doing a British album by a American group
from Idaho.
Yeah. So that's where you get your English potatoes, from Idaho. Anyway, we're doing Paul Revere and the Raiders, and you picked this, Charles.
Right?
And even though you picked it, I had thought of it before. But we're doing the album called Here They Come.
He did think of it before. I had to remind him. We 2 years ago did the album after this.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember the title, but
I know it, but we don't have to talk about
say it.
You know.
No.
Okay, Just Like Us.
Just Like Us was Just Like Me.
Yeah.
On it. It was a fun review. I enjoyed it a lot. I had not heard this, believe it or not, but just a few beers one night, and I thought, we had a good time last time. We did some Paul Revere and the Raiders. Why not do it again? So I sent this to Lee, and he wrote me back in all caps in excited verbiage. Fuck yes.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
obviously Lee is apparently a big Paul Revere fan.
Oh yeah. I've known about them since I was a little tiny kid. Anyway.
Now, okay, but do you like them after Mark Lindsay left?
I never heard them after he left. I didn't even know they did anything after he left.
Oh shit! Before the '70s hit, they had like a different lineup. I
didn't think
that. Well,
they
had Mark Lindsay and Paul Revere, but the drummer, the guitar player, bass player were different people.
Well, do you remember
American Bandstand?
Do you remember a group called Brotherhood?
Of course not.
A group that we reviewed, where you said, "What the hell?" That French guy singing, he didn't sing on any other song.
I don't remember. But
we'll have to do those albums again.
If it's a French guy, it must have sucked.
Well, that song you thought did.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and I'm part French, so I hate myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is what it is. But this is the version with Mark Lindsay.
Yeah.
The real lead singer of this group.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the other guys' names besides Paul Revere.
In fact,
at this time, I write notes about them, but I don't remember their names.
In fact, the guy Paul Revere, that's his real name. But
that's his middle name.
Yeah, Paul Revere Dick. That's his actual whole name. Dick. So you know why he probably didn't use his last name.
And it was a great marketing tool because they were the Raiders and they dressed up in the Revolutionary War get-ups and all that. And I watched a video today of Paul Revere and the Raiders doing kicks, which is on the next album coming soon on the Lee Gersman Show. And also, I'm not your stepping stones on that one.
Probably the one, the Spirit of '67.
Yeah, the next album.
Is that what it's called?
I think it was Midnight Ride.
Oh, okay. Either way.
But don't matter what the next album is.
Yeah, the one with them sitting by steps, right? Kind of like a Midnight Ride. Yeah.
I peeped a little of that. It was some fun listening. For any Okay, you Jethro Tullites, which
Oh.
I'm amazed Lee likes this stuff. This is
Huh.
the antithesis of Jethro Tull.
Oh, I wouldn't
Right.
say that.
No, I would. There's no fucking flute
Whoa,
anywhere to
hey,
be found
hey.
here. Nowhere. There's saxophone
Yeah.
supplied by, and okay, technically they're both woodwinds.
Well, yeah, you know what you mean.
It's provided by the lead singer Mark Lindsay. All the time. He was a saxophonist and singer, which is pretty cool.
There's other people who did that instrument.
What, Clarence Clemens?
No, I'm talking about in the
You're a
group.
Friend of Mine with Jackson Brown. That song sucked.
No,
But,
no, it doesn't. But that's not the point.
I know what you're saying. This is still the antithesis. I'm sorry, folks. I had a few beers. That's why I sound like I'm stupid. It's the antithesis of Jethro Tull.
It isn't.
And Rush.
No, well.
And
of Rush.
And all that progressive fucking hula boo nonsense.
Not quite.
Because this is garage rock.
Well, that I agree with.
And garage rock is the true father of punk rock.
I don't say that.
Which I'm a punk rock aficionado. So, little spoiler.
You're mixing up stuff.
A little spoiler. I may like this a little bit better than your fucking flute up your ass, Jethro Tull people. Maybe.
Well,
This is guitar, bass, drums, a little bit of organ with Paul Revere. A hell of a lot of acoustic piano on this, by the way, from Paul Revere. And some saxophone. But this is just party rock.
It's not dumb.
No, it's not. And neither is punk music. So,
well, yeah, it is.
I have other reviews you used to do.
No, shut up.
But that's where we're at. This is like probably this album came out in like 65.
Yeah, you were born.
No, you weren't born yet either. You ain't that fucking old.
Yeah, I was, but it came out before I was born.
Yeah, you weren't born yet.
But I was born in 65.
This is like Help era Beatles time frame.
Time frame?
The time frame, yeah. Doors weren't out yet. Stones, I can't.
Kind of.
I don't know. Right before Aftermath? Thinking?
Yeah.
Time frame. Elvis was doing stupid movie songs.
Yeah. You don't need to go through all the history. You don't know enough to do that.
No, I don't know it. Absolutely nothing. But I knew a Paul Revere narrator somehow. Yeah. I won't get into how we talked offline. I'm not going to say publicly. It don't matter.
Yeah. Well.
It doesn't matter to the general, the GP, as the kids say.
Yeah. You found out from the Purina Cat Chow guy. Sorry.
Right. At this stage, they wore Revolutionary War outfits based off of Paul Revere Dick's name.
Oh.
Mark Lindsay is the lead singer. And we'll get into it. I wish I could refer them to the old review. We had a great time doing that. That's why it came to me. And in probably another 2 years, we'll do some more Paul Revere, I guess.
We can do it sooner. But anyway, who wants to start? I'll let you decide.
I'll go first. Why not?
Okay. What do you think of You Can't Sit Down?
The first 6 songs and rest assured, I'll let you know when we hit 6, folks at home, were produced by Bruce Johnston, future Beach Boy. You know who he is, Lee. Right?
He also produced Bob Dylan.
Oh, well, I'm going to hold that against him.
Right.
This is an extended instrumental featuring Mark Lindsay's sax and some real nifty keyboard work laid down by Paul Revere himself. Drake Levin is the guitarist here, and his work is pretty damn good on this track. A fun instrumental to open the set with, and while it almost comes across as dated, almost, I would categorize this as timeless. And I've mentioned that before. There's a difference between dated and timeless. And this is timeless. Sure, it makes you want to do the swim, but nothing wrong with that. A fun little number. You can't sit down. Go ahead, Lee.
I put, for an album from 1965, it still sounds as exciting as it did when I heard it when I was about 9 years old. When I first heard this, I was like, wow. I still think wow. Great music by a band of the likes I'd like to hear now, but unfortunately cannot find one that is this good. Very great party music. And now for money. That's what I want. Yeah? What was that? Speak up. I said speak up. Okay. You admit this is better than the Beatles version? Well, not to knock the Beatles, but in a way I have to. This is so much better. And the guitar solo is stellar. And this came out the year I was born. Shows you how music has gone downhill since then, right? What do you think?
Better than the Beatles, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see what I think. I do think this was a mandatory number for most 60s rock bands to attempt. And we get Paul's version here. Lindsay lays down some cool vocals. And I do think the drumming is a bit better than the Beatles version. Are you still with me, Lee?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so the drumming's better than the Beatles. But the guitar work lacks a bit.
Oh, fuck.
It stays a little too formulaic versus the Beatles version.
Shit!
And both of these versions lack versus Jerry Lee Lewis's version from Live at the Star Club.
I'm not going to...
Which we reviewed. But while the riff is played rather safe, this has a way better guitar solo than what George Harrison laid down.
Yeah. So you said it's not as better, but it's better. So,
okay, hold on. It's a fine version. It's a good cover. I'll put it below Jerry Lee Lewis's. But yes, I'll put it over the Beatles.
All right. I want to not, and I do, and I not do. I want to apologize to you. I have to hear Jerry Lee's again.
You must. We reviewed it. And
I'm sorry for my drunken. You're a good guy, okay, with good taste. All right.
Yeah.
What do you think of Louie Louie?
Mark Lindsay's sax work is really good on this. Features another smoking guitar solo from Mr. Drake Levin. It seems as if Revere laid down acoustic piano here, and he gets lost in the mix a bit, which is sad. Another decent cover here. Not quite as good as the Kingsman version, but it works.
Yeah.
Yet another one that has been covered tons of times, like over 1,000, I think I read, is the most covered song ever. But for a live track, which the first 6 songs are live, produced by Bruce Johnston, it's pretty decent. I liked it, but I wasn't floored.
Right on. We need to do the Kingsman later, and there's a reason. But anyway, I do like it, and it's still great, but the song didn't need geniuses to make it sound good. Pretty much most every band had their stamp on the song and made it good in their own way. This isn't the very, very best version ever out there, but it is one of the versions I go to if I hear this song. It is very good, and I really like it a lot. All right.
Well, do you know what's interesting? I read a quote from Paul Revere that he said, every idiot learned this song, and we were amongst them.
Well, hey, I agree with him. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think, all right, Do You Love Me? Okay. I like how the delayed intro is sort of like a tease. It makes the song even more enjoyable once they start really playing it. It's one of the better versions I've heard. What do you think?
You should listen to Johnny Thunder's version.
Oh, boy.
We do get some funny commentary from Paul Revere in the band towards Lindsay's opening vocals, which is a fun component here. Lindsay does a good job getting the small audience, is what it sounds like, involved here. The backing vocals are pretty outstanding, and it's damn soulful, actually. And I think the little quirky things the band does with the vocals overall is what makes this version work for me. I mean, is it excellent? No, but Levin continues to stand out a bit with his guitar work. And he added like a little Middle Eastern feel on that closeout solo, which was really cool. I'd say it sounds like it would have been fun to be there that night at that gig.
Right on. What do you think of Oop-Poo-Pa-Doo?
I got Big Boy Pete next.
Oh,
You have that one?
I remember the song fully. I didn't write it down, but when you talk about it, I can talk about it. Okay, go on.
Right.
What do you think of Big Boy Pete?
Well, being I wasn't familiar with that one, I guess it sounds the freshest. It's like I had never heard this song before. I did see it was covered by an early R&B group called the Olympics. This version could make death metal sound fun, I believe.
Huh.
And this is another one, it's just fun to listen to. It seems like a little breather type track, changing things up just a hair, and it works. And I like Big Boy Pete.
Now, let me ask you, does it go like, let me tell you about Big Boy Pete? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's like, to me, like,
it's a nice little break.
It's kind of like if a bunch of football guys get up and then they're doing like their little break, and then they're doing the song like, if you try to stop us, we'll kick your butt. But they're having fun, and it's kind of like a football team doing their little break song, which isn't like stupendous, but it's fun for the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And now for Oop-Poo-Pa-Doo. Okay. I used to put all my stuffed animals around me, and I used to dance to this and pretend the stuffed animals did the call and response. It was quite a great show that only I saw, but this is a great song. Not a lot to the meaning of it, but that doesn't always matter. It's really great. What do you think?
Well, these dudes excel at comedy. Watch some of their live stuff from Dick Clark's American Bandstand. You know what I'm talking about.
All right.
Give me a big F sharp. This is just some straight fun, and it's refreshing to hear something that isn't taking itself so seriously. Revere's piano is more audible here, and he plays it real well. I found this one enjoyable as well, and we close out side one of the live tracks here with some really kick-ass shit. Interested to see if side two in the studio tracks keep up the fire here.
Okay, yeah, this is one thing that I will say. The difference for me is when I heard it back then and now. And that is something which I will say is very, very interesting. The difference. Side 2 is, and back then, you did not know this. You just had to hear it. But
Yeah.
obviously, Side 2 is a studio album. What do you think
And
of...
produced by somebody different.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay, and you can tell me when you want.
I will.
What do you think of the song Sometimes?
This and the remaining tracks are produced by Terry Melcher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this yet again is another cover, a Gene Thomas song. I have no idea who he is, but okay.
Huh.
Lindsay sounds damn near like Davy Jones from the Monkees a bit at times on this track. It's our first slower tempo style song. I'd say it's a bit of a ballad here. The guitar solo is yet again pretty damn good. Revere is laying on that organ quite a bit well here, and I like it. I can't find much fault. So it fits in with any other band of its era at that time for sure. I liked it.
All right, I put. Now I like it, and it sounds like an even heavier hitting Rolling Stones ballad. Back in the day,
Yay.
it wasn't my thing, but now I do like it, and I think it's still fresh, even after all these years. Okay. The next song is Gone. Okay. This is okay. I wouldn't be against it if Tony Bennett sang lead vocals instead. That would be different, but interesting to me. Maybe not the best song on the album, but it's okay, and I wouldn't mind hearing it by the retro cover band playing at Great America. What do you think?
Some theme park. Yeah, we hit that on our last episode. So theme park music. And it was written by the two producers, Bruce Johnston and Terry Melcher.
Huh.
This one is probably even more ballady than Sometimes. The good of the song is Revere's organ and Phil Vokes playing bass. His bass work is great here. I would think that this may have worked better off as a B-side or perhaps in a different spot on the album. I mean, two mellow ones at this point are kind of bringing it down a bit. When this song is so short, it seems like it never resolves itself. It's kind of like a demo. I probably would have left it off the album, to be honest with you. Make it a B-side at best.
Okay. What do you think of These Are Bad Times for Me and My Baby?
Well, another kind of chilled out one, but it does have a bluesy twist to keep it a bit more interesting than Gone. Lindsay, I don't know. He comes across like this one was a bit of a challenge for him to pull off. He almost sounds like a pastiche of a rock singer here. I'd have went instrumental on this, as musically it's pretty good, but I thought the vocals brought it down a little bit. I don't think he pulled it off.
Okay, I put, the song is good, but the mix is strange, as if only the vocals are up front in the mix. But I do like it, and I think it's one of the better of the studio tracks on here. Okay, now for Fever. This is okay. I like it, but it isn't the very best version I've heard. It's not as good as Peggy Lee's version, but I can still enjoy it. What do you think?
What about Elvis's version?
I don't know that one.
Oh, it's really good. This is another cover that seems to be covered 1,000 times. Dr. John classic here. Lindsay, now he pulls this one off a bit better than the previous track. Revere's organ drives us along rather expertly, if I may say so. Even though it's not the most high energy song, so far I would say it got us back on track a bit because the last two were kind of stinkers. A good cover, I thought. I enjoyed it. Is it definitive? No, but I liked it better than the last two songs.
Okay, what do you think of Time Is on My Side?
This was made famous by the Rolling Stones, who
Mm-hmm.
he just continues to slander for some reason. I don't know why. And unfortunately, vocally was done better by the Stones as well. I really didn't care for the backing vocals on this one, off key, and this one was a struggle to listen to. But it's hard to top the Stones, and they don't here. They wouldn't top Pebbles Flintstone here. But hey, they tried.
Okay, but well, it's good as a change of pace from the Rolling Stones version if someone wants to hear a more inferior version because they're tired of the great one. So this works in that way. Okay. And now for the last
Big Love,
song.
you finally said something nice about the Stones in a backhanded compliment kind of way. So big up to Lee right there.
Well,
right.
I gave more the backhanded compliment to Paul Revere. But anyway.
No, it was worse than the Stones version.
Yes, that's what I said. It's good as a change of pace if someone wants to hear a more inferior version.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Or like Jethro Tull music.
No!
No.
But anyway, yeah, I prefer Jethro Tull over this. But anyway.
I would too.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for that. Anyway,
you're welcome.
The last song, A Kiss to Remember You By. Okay, this is actually pretty good. The cheek popping introduction is cool, and I'm glad they let the cheek popper do percussion throughout the whole song. It's one of the better of the studio tracks on the album. What do you think?
The only original song written by band members of this group, and this one was written by Mark Lindsay and Paul Revere. It seems like a goodbye type song, so an appropriate way to close the album out. This one has some real cool percussion on it, and while it isn't the greatest song in the history of mankind, it certainly isn't the worst song I've ever heard. And I'm sure the kids in 1965 lost their shit all over these guys. Even with its imperfections, mainly the second side, I'd recommend this album to check out. Because even the ones aren't that good aren't terrible. So there you go.
Right
on. The first side is what makes this album, though.
Yep, that's what I would say. The first side is so good. It's like what people used to say. The first side is what you listen to, and the second side is what you use to scoop up your dog crap. So there you go. Right on. You have an album with two different purposes.
Yeah. We're like one good Paul Revere album and a half good Paul Revere album.
Yes.
And I'm thinking the next album is in the future, folks, if you're a big Paul Revere and the Raiders fan.
Right on.
I'm assuming.
Okay.
I like them. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah.
We're just reviewing this and being honest. If it's crap, it's crap. Right, Lee?
Yep.
And if it's good, it's good.
Yep.
You say what it is.
And dog crap is never good tasting, no matter how fresh it is.
We know Jethro Tull is mainly turds.
No.
Here on this channel. We don't? I thought we did.
No.
Oh, man. I'm sorry.
One half of us knows maybe half.
Turds. Yeah, half of us knows it's turds. But
yeah,
there's plenty of other great shit that Lee Gersman's like besides that group.
Yeah.
Through the years. And we won't
So we can forgive him for that.
We can forgive me for turning him on to better music than that shit. But I'm thankful that I brought up Paul Revere again. We did it.
Thank you.
And he was excited, and I'm glad he was excited.
Thank you.
And it was a fun listen overall. Paul Revere is fun music. Right. If you like fun music, listen to these guys. Right, Lee?
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.